I always liked creating content and I used to do it way before I even knew about the industry. I was too young. I was probably 16, 17 years old. I started to gain followers. People were really enjoying it.
It's more of a career right now, a
It
full-fledged
is
one.
definitely.
Okay, how about you, Dan?
Same. Now it's a full-time career. They're like these new guys who are getting a lot of fame because of their face, their bodies, and because they know better somehow. But they are not monetizing it nicely. So there is one artist. I'm not gonna take her name, but she started Instagram when it just rolled in, and now she is earning seven-digit income because
Okay.
of her dollar income. That too. She knew how to leverage that fame. If you're smart about it,
Yeah.
you're gonna last. But if you're not smart about it, you won't even last for a few months. I have literally seen so many people growing and like coming in the market, being the face at that point, and literally just disappearing.
That brings the elephant in the room, which is AI. How is it impacting your industry right now?
So far, it's not impacting a lot. There are some pages with hundreds of thousands of followers. They're making good money out of AI models. But people.
Today's episode is all about what it takes to becoming a social media influencer and a content creator. The skills, the challenges, and how to get started. If you have ever wondered what goes behind the scenes in building a personal brand online, this one is for you. Joining us are two incredible guests. Daniel Makwana, a well-known fashion influencer in Mumbai, recognized for his sharp style and strong presence in the fashion space. Karan Sira, an artist and fashion influencer who blends creativity with fashion to build a unique presence online. Together, we will break down the essentials of what is required to start as an influencer, how the journey is going to look like, and the mindset which is required to make it in this space. Whether you are an aspiring content creator or just curious about this industry as such, this episode is packed with a lot of insights which you don't want to miss. Let's dive in and go beyond tech. Hey guys.
Hi, how
How
are
are you
you?
doing?
Amazing.
Okay. Maybe let's start. I know your journey been a while now, but maybe for the audience, maybe let's start with how long you've been doing it.
I kind of started in 2017, 18. At that time, I just started with my art, and then I started to post my things on my private account, and then I opened it. So basically, 2017.
And how about you?
I don't exactly remember, but I think during the similar time, it's been 6, 7 years when I started. Yeah, so same
Okay.
time.
So that you don't remember, that means there should be some motivation which should have made you
I
start it, right? So maybe I'll start with you and then go to you.
I actually didn't have any motivation as such. I was always, I always liked creating content, and I used to do it way before I even knew about the industry. I was too young. I was probably 16, 17 years old that time, and I was, shooting my organic content that time when I met across two influencers who were there, and they started talking to me, and they asked me, like, they saw my Instagram, and they asked me if I'm an influencer.
That was in Mumbai.
Yeah, that was in Mumbai. And that time I didn't know much, so they gave me some insights about how it works and how I can approach brands or what I can do. Then I started doing my research, and I yeah, that kind of motivated me to it's just,
Motivation is more like you wanted to, you like content creation, that's where
yes,
you got
I
started.
yes.
Okay. How about you, Karan?
Mine was more like a journey. I started with painting for myself, and then I started to post it on my social media, and that at that time it was a private account with just my friends and family. And then I was like, people asking, why don't you open your account and make it private, public? So I made it public. I started to gain followers. People were really enjoying it. And then got this text from one lady. She said, I want to learn from you and I'll pay you. So from there, I started to do it just because I also wanted to post, but also for my classes. And then it was more like money related. It was more of independence. I was getting that
So
taste of
you never
independence.
thought it of as a career at the beginning, it was more of a self-expression.
Yes, it was self-expression, and then it escalated my classes and then career. And then later on, again, it turned into a way of self-expression when, like, few years back, like 2 years back almost.
and I enjoy creating a lot of content.
So
I
it's
just
more
enjoy.
of a career right now, a
It is
full-fledged one?
definitely a career.
Okay. How about you, Dan?
Same. Now it's a full-time career. I also do other things aside from this, but yeah, this is also a full-time thing for me,
Okay.
and it has been for quite a few years now.
Okay. So then comes the question of really making a career out of it. Like some of the audiences who might be watching it will be looking at more like, can I really make it a career? I think you guys might be somebody they can aspire to be, because I think your following is good. You have a brand which you have built. It's more of a self brand. I believe that you are building yourself or projecting yourself as a brand itself, right? That is that how I should look at you guys? Like, are you a brand in itself?
We can say that, but
I can definitely see myself being as a brand because first of all, I'm having an academy from my name, Karan Sira. It's a watercolor floral academy. I'm having my classes over there, right? I'm working with brands for their artworks, and now I'm doing more of a content creation for brands, which are fashion brands. So I do see myself as a brand, but also as a career option. I guess it is good, and I don't think we are anyone to say because today everyone is doing that. Literally, everyone is doing this. They are like content creators are in abundance today.
But
no,
when you
there is potential in the industry. There's a lot of potential, but it depends on the person. Like everything, every person is different. People have different potentials. Not everyone is made for one specific field. So just because it is very exciting right now seeing other people do it, but it might not be for you. So, but if you think you have the potential to be on social media and make it as a career, definitely go for it.
So how does somebody realize or identify that they have the potential to maybe enter into this field as a career? Is it like trial and error, or they can? It's more of a judgment call that you need to make.
Like there are so many factors. Can be passion if you're passionate about something, and content creation is like has a lot of niches. Like you can be into fashion, traveling, cooking,
Whatever, like
anything. So let's say if you're good at cooking, you can make cooking videos and try to make career out of it. Same as with fashion, same as everything.
Okay.
So
but there are like some people who are more of supporting people instead of being the main actor or like the star. Some people are really good at supporting and
see, I mean, that's with talent. Okay, you can be good at like fashion, but you could be doing something else, designing clothes for other people or
Okay.
support. You don't always have to be in front of the camera to
exactly.
be
You don't
good in
really
fashion.
need to be the main character.
Yeah, you
That's what
don't
you mean.
always
You
have
can
to be
always
that.
be the side one, but still make a career out of it.
Yeah, those people are not side characters. It's just they're not in front of the camera. So
They
you need to identify if you're good in front of the camera or behind the scenes,
exactly
because people working behind the scenes are equally important.
important.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
So it means that there are even opportunities within, if let's say we call it as an industry right now, that you don't really need to be projecting yourself as a brand, but you can also work in the background in building somebody's
So there is this one thing that
capabilities
I
as a
saw
brand.
on the internet. An actor was saying, she was like, "We are just showing the image, what a producer and the crew is doing. We are just the showcase. Baki kaam, all the things are happening behind the scene. The producer, the crew, the
So it's more like
cinematographer."
running a show, like you have the showrunner who's more
Exactly.
coordinating, orchestrating things, and there is a
exactly
main
like right
character.
now also when we create content, there are so many people involved behind the scene, like people managing it, people directing it, people helping with scripting, and there are camera people,
Editing
editors.
people.
There are so many people involved behind the scenes, and yeah, it depends. If you can do something greater that side, then probably stick to that. But if you, yeah, I mean,
Okay, that's interesting. So then definitely everyone will have a question. How do I know that I can really take on this as a full-time career, or do I need to maybe sidetrack and then have a main career, then pursue this one as a parallel career? How does somebody look at it when they choose to maybe go towards this direction?
For me, I will always recommend, not just for this career. I've gotten so many questions regarding I want to be an artist. Should I pursue it as a main career? And I will always say that have a backup question always, because I'm a civil engineer. We do have a family business, and I do go there even if I was earning from art, even if I'm earning from content creation, collaborating with brands, having my shoots and all. I'm still going to site, still having my art thing. Always having a safety net, a cushion is the best option. And having a job that is like civil engineer or lawyer or a doctor, it's like a longer run. Like it's a good game.
So you can really consider this as an entrepreneurship opportunity, but also being safe. Let's say your take might be that you need to take a safer option when you're
I
pursuing.
mean, more are the options, better it is. That's what I would say.
Okay, how about you, Dan?
I believe the same. You should have a safer side to it. You should have other options as in career. All of these industries, entertainment industry, you can be, let it be an influencer, actor, model. These people have such a unpredictable career. Like you could be making millions right now, and suddenly you would fall, and you might not make anything at all tomorrow. So there are millions of people trying it, very few are making it, and even when they're making it, you can't be sure if you are going to get work tomorrow.
Okay.
So
So
being
It's very
mindful is
yeah.
very important here.
So right now the market is there, but then the kind of competition is cutthroat. That's how it is.
Yeah, the market is growing and it's huge. Like I think over time, like from what I've seen, things have only gotten better and more organized in the industry.
Is it still an organized sector? Can we call it as an organized sector?
don't
Or
think
is it
so.
like people are organizing themselves and then creating their own niche?
Content creation was never a main career or like valid career. Like it just happened after COVID. Before that, people were having their normal lives, and now it's still in a phase where it's progressing towards. Now it is a career option.
So
I
prior
think-
yeah, go ahead.
People had career options even before COVID on social media, but it was mainly YouTube.
Yeah,
People,
that's the difference could
yeah.
be. Or
There
even-
used to be YouTubers who were prominent, used to make good money, everything was nice with them. I think short form content has grown and content creator has grown in this direction probably post COVID. And in India, I can say, like post this smartphone thing and Geo coming in the game and, changing the internet, things in India has impacted a lot. Now the audience has, grown wider because of, people having a lot of access of smartphone and internet. Just because audience getting wider, the opportunities have also gotten wider for people doing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one major question maybe like it's a short content format. I mean, in terms of the duration, right? How do you try to make an impact within that shorter span? At least both of your, maybe your kind of perspective around that.
I used to watch a lot of long form content, but then reels came in, and then they kind of forced us to get into the short form. Like I still remember I used to get like views in lakhs when I was posting videos of 1 minute, 2 minutes on Instagram, and then they were like, we are just pushing people, those who are creating reels for 15 seconds. I was like, no, but then we had to go with the
short
algorithm.
Form. Okay, it's more than.
And now it's back to long form, but I always will prefer long form over the short form. Scrolling is one of the bad habit. Like it's really bad, like scrolling.
Infinite scroll, you mean?
Your attention period is like span is like really small if you're just continuously scrolling.
So you consider, again, like you said, you're more, both of you anyway, identify yourself as content creators, whether it be short form or
yeah,
the long format, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter whether it's the, but you enjoy more the longer format because you can
it's
express
a very
more.
personal preference.
Okay. What about you?
I enjoy both. I guess both are for entertainment. Uh, a shorter form is more addicting, definitely, but it's up to people also. Like you can get addicted to anything. If you're addicted to your phone, scrolling through all the time, then it's up to people. And I enjoy both equally, honestly.
Okay. Now comes the bigger question of monetizing, which again, I think everyone will be curious to know, because I think in your journey, there would be phases where you would not have seen any money, but then it started coming through. Like, how was that journey for both of you? Maybe with you, Dan.
Okay, so initially I didn't understand the industry much. I started, and I think the first brand I did was on a barter basis, and I don't remember exactly how it all went
Because you
initially.
never had a vision to maybe monetize, you were more focused on content creation.
Yes, and later on, it was brands only, or I don't remember how, but I got my first deal. It was for a very small amount, and later, I kept on increasing it, and yeah. So now, of course, I understand the industry better. I know how everything works behind the scene.
Okay.
But I guess people who are starting new, they don't understand it, and they work for free, which is not right. I mean, yeah, if you're very new, maybe you can give it a shot one time, two times, but if you're putting efforts, you should get paid for it. I mean, also you need to give value in return.
That's because
You-
it's still not an organized sector. Could be that a lot
Yeah,
of
people take
advantage.
advantage of people who don't know much. Like they can have a really high budget, but if you don't know how to negotiate with them, they might give you peanuts and make you food.
But that could be very difficult for somebody who's just starting off. Let's say I also remember in my freelancing days, I come from the tech. So you don't really know your worth, but it's just starting off, and then you get some freelancing gig. You might end up getting something which you might feel, oh, it's less, but because you're just starting off, you just want to get something out of it, right? It could be the same even in this sector where you just start off and then whatever comes your way, like you said, the barter system.
But people also have to realize they not now, today or tomorrow, but maybe after that you have to pay bills. So if you are considering this as a career, you need to pay bills in the future. So you have to earn if it is your career option. For me, the monetizing my content and skill, it's been different because I was selling artworks to brands. I was teaching. I was having workshops and lectures. And
So
then,
you had diversified the opportunities in monetizing.
like I said, like more is always better. Even if I am a content creator, if I'm working with fashion brands, I know the basic of scripting. I know the basic of how the camera is working. I know art, calligraphy, like just diversify your skill set and like just try to figure out if how you can monetize it. More is always better. You don't have to be like jack of all trades. Just have a little bit of knowledge from here, and it's always good.
Okay.
And I think people who are just starting over, don't be afraid to, don't feel like whatever I'm gonna quote is just too high. Yeah, maybe initially, be realistic, but later on, don't be afraid to, say a bigger amount.
But this is for somebody who wants to really look at this career as a career itself. Like for you, it did not start like that, right? Like you were looking more to create content, express yourself. It translated into. So does that mean you just go with it with the passion to just create content, and then ultimately it will translate to maybe money at
But
one
that's
point?
with everything, right? As for art, I started as a passion and then it started to pay off by like people paying me for that. Same with the content creation. Some people, I really enjoy being in front of camera. I really love to create amazing content and amazing edits, right? But these days it is so common that people will be like, oh, it's easy money, it's quick money.
So they are starting off with the mindset of I want to make money, than thinking of what I really need to do in this.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong. We are no one to judge, right?
Okay.
But it's like, are you even getting paid with that mindset?
If it's not your passion, you won't be happy doing it for a long time.
Exactly.
because it might look fun, like when you are seeing from afar away, like, oh, you're in front of the camera, you're just doing something and you're done. No, it's very hectic behind the scenes. Things get hectic. Overall, like there is so much to do behind the scenes that you might stop enjoying it after a point. So if it's not your passion, don't do it.
Okay. So
Don't just see money, don't just see fame. It doesn't work. I've seen so many people, like getting into it and then they just quit because it's not working for them. They can't handle the pressure.
okay. So have you also faced a similar, I mean, at least a phase in your life where this had become more like a pressure situation where you had to deliver on a day to day?
Yes.
How did you manage it?
So if you keep doing something, after a point, you reach a point where you don't feel creative enough. You have no ideas. You just feel burnt out in your career. I have
And why did that happen in the first place? That you were always under the pressure to maybe deliver on a day to day.
no, it wasn't until a point like I was enjoying it, but then I also had personal issues in my life, certain things going on, and then you reach a point in your life where you just don't feel creative enough, or
Okay.
like to create something. uh, it should come from within, that you just have an idea, then you just go out, create it. Sometimes you don't feel like doing it, so I have reached that point, of course. And I can say from time to time it keeps happening where I just feel blocked. There is a creative block, I don't know, there is a term, something, there's a creative block where I just don't feel like it. And I also take breaks from time to time to come back with fresher ideas. But sometimes you just have to do, because let's say if you have some bills to pay, you have to force yourself, get up, make content, because it's also your career. I mean, it happens with every industry.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
you could be,
Even in artists, people like call it creative block, that they're not able to paint, or they're not able to put out art in a specific way that they really like. So it happens everywhere.
But whatever the mental health, how do you make sure that it's not impacting your mental
I just
health?
stop doing. If I ever feel sick of something, I stop doing it, because I have occupied myself with so many things, art, content creation, like civil engineering. I just graduated 2 years back, so and then I am always up for learning new things. So if I'm sick of something, I will start doing something else. So that is how I protected my mental peace. I kept myself sane, and I enjoyed every process. If I'm not enjoying it, I'm not doing it. That's very clear for me.
That's good. And maybe something around brands approaching you. How did that journey start? When did you really see the first brands reaching out to you? Do you remember that?
My story is very different. With transitioning from art page to my own personal lifestyle page, and it all happened because of Daniel.
Oh,
Yeah, he introduced me to the whole thing, and then my story escalated really quickly. But also, I was equally passionate about putting my face out, running the campaigns. I will put my leg and arm. I will love to put extra effort to create an amazing piece of content and over deliver what brand asks for. And then it just escalated.
so you had a huge following even before that.
Oh, yeah,
Just that you never realized this can happen. That brands can really.
And now
approach.
I'm more connected to my audience. Now they know my face, what my personality is like. Sometimes not. I mean, they are having some different perspective, but also I don't talk to them personally. So yeah, I guess I have better connection with people now. Earlier, people used to know me just because of my painting, not me. They just knew that there is some person who's painting, who paints really well. But now they know, like, this guy from this place paints this, looks like this, and has like more personality too.
So it has a personal touch attached to
Oh,
it.
absolutely.
Okay. That's interesting because again, you are the one who maybe introduced into the world of brands reaching out, right? What, how did you understand or realize about that happening to you at least?
see, I think sometimes we don't understand what our potential is until somebody else tells you. So there has been so many topics where he has told me certain things about myself, and I'm like, oh shit, that's true. And yeah, so he has given me a lot of insights about my life in general, where when I saw his page, saw his content, and I was friends with him already, so I could see his personality and everything, and I was like, you need to be the face also.
That's for him. I'm mostly talking about how did you maybe initially start with your brands reaching out to you?
His journey was little rough, I
Different.
guess. He explored everything on him, like by himself.
Yeah, I actually started when very few people were doing it. It was, yeah, it was
Very
the
new one.
early days of
How old were you?
16, 15, 16. I
16.
don't
Like
even
it's
know.
almost 10,
I
like
don't
almost a
remember.
decade. And उस time पे तो like social media was also not that strong. The game
That's
was
really
not.
impressive because maybe I would have been playing around at 16.
I just realized, I guess Instagram started to roll when it was like 2011. Instagram came in the game.
Yeah.
Around that time, I'm not even sure.
True.
So 2016, mein, if he's getting in some serious business with this platform, it's like almost a decade.
Yeah, I started, and I think I was growing well. I was getting a lot of people. I had nicer audience that time. Yes, I didn't know how to monetize it or how to utilize that audience.
But you never imagined to maybe monetize that. That was
Yeah,
the initial
It's
thought,
not
right?
just him. We were just talking day before yesterday. They're like these new guys who are getting a lot of fame because of their face, their bodies, and because they know better somehow, which is amazing, right? I'm so happy for them. But they are not monetizing it nicely. So there is one artist. I'm not gonna take her name, but she started Instagram when it just rolled in, and she was getting amazing likes, like 30,000, 40,000 likes, and she created an email list, and now she is earning 7-digit income because
Okay.
of her dollar income, that too. And now her reach is like 200, 300 likes, which is okay. But
That's happening through the brands, or is it through
no.
selling?
Like now
courses?
she is selling her courses, art retreats. She knew how to leverage that fame. But these days, these new guys, these new people, they're not doing it. They are just so much happy with those 1,000 to 5,000, 10,000 like views, whatever it is. But
Maybe they are happy getting the limelight more than trying to monetize.
I guess
maybe.
people are just blinded by
No,
the.
maybe they are, but
fame?
we have also seen people who are getting crazy numbers, and we know how much amount, how much money they can make out of it. But for probably, a pair of shoe or like clothes or jeans, something, they might just put out a reel or put so many efforts.
Just as a barter.
Like
I mean,
for
they'll just
for
give
a
you a
PR
pair of
package.
shoe. Yeah, they'll just give you a pair of shoe, and you just have to create a reel.
And then
Whereas comparing it to people, those who know that they can be paid well with the free stuff,
And the amount of likes these people get,
it's
for
crazy.
these newcomers,
But they have to
when they
realize
get.
there is a specific shelf life of a content creator. I went viral multiple times just because I have so much to offer. But there is a shelf life of a content creator. 3 to 5 years is a specific time.
No, like if you're smart about it,
Yeah.
you're gonna last. But if you're not smart about it, you won't even last for a few months.
So that
I have
means
literally seen people, growing from 2-3 thousand followers to 100,000 followers, and then suddenly declining so fast. I have literally seen so many people growing and like coming in the market, being the face at that point, and literally just disappearing within thin air, like.
okay.
So
But that means the other problem which you were talking about, let's say if you are really seriously taking it as a business,
Career.
and if you're driving it, the fear of missing out is always there. Like if you are not in the scene creating content regularly, maybe algorithm will not be in favor of you, which might lead to loss of your revenue itself. So I think that's the initial thought of what I was mentioning about the mental health as well, right? So it's very difficult to balance maybe that if if let's say if you don't diversify like you were saying?
Social media is more like a sweet poison, right? It will first bribe you with, oh, I'll give you 1,000 likes, I'll give you 2,000 likes, and then immediately you're viral. You're
I don't
having
really-
50,000 likes.
Yeah.
And then shelf life goes down. They could have leveraged a lot of money out of it, but then now Instagram is like making other people viral, and you're like, shit, what to do now? So that happens.
Okay, and that brings the elephant in the room, which is AI. I think that has disrupted a lot of things, including what is happening in my industry, the tech. It is really making a lot of changes in terms of how people are working. Expectations are changing where you are supposed to be productive because you have this tool available, right? So how is, and that is also leading to maybe loss of jobs across the industry, right? So how is it impacting your industry, right?
So far, it's not impacting a lot, except for like people,
Those are script writers. They are,
script writers. But right now there are also AI models, right?
but I don't think people are like,
No, there are some pages with hundreds of thousands of followers. They're making good money out of AI models. So AI has just come in, and this has already started. So I can definitely see that in future, people or brands will be okay to pay these AI models because they might charge nothing. They are gonna look perfect. They are gonna create perfect videos because everything is artificial, right?
but people do value personal human touch so much these days.
No, it's always a shift. I
Oh, yeah.
think AI will rise, and then later people will realize, oh, this is artificial. We want more human touch.
Human
So
touch.
it will decline again, and then it will be on a very
Neutral stage.
neutral
But
state. Yeah.
is it at least becoming an enabler for the content creator right now? Because let's say you are talking about a mental block in terms of being creative, where the tool can help somebody who's maybe struggling with it, or maybe it could also help in editing your videos faster. In that way, is it helping the content creators right now?
Yeah.
Or is it too early?
Yeah, absolutely. For script writing, it has helped me at least, and even I have used it to figure out some camera shot, the storyboard. It is definitely amazing tool if you know how to properly use it, how to give it a proper prompt. Like like this is my room, there is a wardrobe at this side. The whole This is the whole situation, and these are the equipments, and I am looking forward to create some story. How do you think? And then it gives you like a solid idea. It's not going to be a full idea, but it's going to be a solid idea that can act as a foundation, and then you can build your things, your creativity, your things onto it, which is amazing.
I mean, everything has advantages and disadvantages. So AI has the same things, where now I think AI, because of AI, people don't even write their emails,
I know, because I
People
don't
really just copy paste everything that ChatGPT has given, and
people, I mean, maybe my example, I don't really write those lengthy emails anymore, but I just give my context of what I need, which it generates. I just need to review, okay, whether it's fine for.
It's okay, yeah.
Yeah. So in terms of that, yeah, it's becoming productive. Yeah.
Even whenever I am writing an email, like we do share, like this is what I, and we tell each other like this is looking like this. And sometimes I really hate how the vibe of what AI generate, like Chat GPT, right? And then I'm like, no, I'm gonna use the original word that was in my mind, and I'm just gonna use it because I want to use it.
Because you don't want to really have your personal touch in it.
Not about that also, but if I am writing a letter, right, I want some words to be spelled in a wrong way, but it looks appropriate in that specific situation, how I want to project it. So that's why I need that word instead of like a refined word. I need that specific word to have that vibe.
I think AI makes everything written so perfect.
Perfect.
It just doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't give that human touch. Like how normally we talk. That's not how AI talks. It speaks in a very robotic, very I don't know, very professional language. Nobody talks like that
Yeah.
in real life. So even while writing email, how we write, AI doesn't write it that way.
I will still prefer my own written emails.
Because you consider, I think it is going to make a lot of difference where you're doing a lot of repetitive work maybe. But otherwise creatively, I think it's still there where it has not matched human intelligence.
What I am like, what I do on the day-to-day basis, like I'll write an email, I will like make it smoother, fix the grammar, and like punctuate it. That's maximum. Keep the length very similar, keep the vibe very similar. So it gives you a little bit polished version. It's not the refined version. It's just more of a polished version of you.
Okay, at least your words is assuring that anybody who's still wanting to enter this industry can still do it, because I think disruption
There's
of
so
AI
much
is still-
scope. There's so much scope right
I
now.
guess, like the conversation we had is putting an image that it's a very negative image, but honestly, it's like a good career option. People are earning 15, 20, 30, 60, 80 lakhs per month. They are definitely doing that per month, and it's a good career option.
And what is basically required, like a minimum criteria? Is it more of consistency that you're putting in, or is it quality, or is it value that you're giving it to your audience? What do they really need to focus on?
Okay, so this is a very personal opinion. I was having this mentor, her name is Jasmine Star, and she taught and inserted the thing in our mind that consistency can break talent, like anything. Consistency, which is very true. If you're consistent with anything,
Yeah.
it's gonna win over a lot of things. I mean, of course, it's a very personal opinion. People can have different opinions, but consistency can win a lot of games.
Yeah, that's a positive outlook. Yeah.
Yeah, but with consistency, you should also put value to it. If you're not putting value, if you're just going to create something
Cringe.
There should be
Craze,
purpose. I would rather say.
like if you're going to create a page out of taking random things, random memes, and trying to grow out of it, it's not gonna work.
No, but I have seen
No,
these.
no, not meme pages. Meme also should value. I mean, it should make people laugh. If you're just
Exactly.
putting anything which is not even funny, what's the point?
But you're also working towards finding the right memes which are
Yeah.
gonna make people laugh, and then putting the whole thing onto your page.
No, it's also like, do you know enough? Like if you're into fashion, do you know things, like about clothes, how to style? If you're not good at it, there's no point. Don't force it. Just because you like something doesn't mean it's for you. So, bring value. Value is very important. Consistency is also very important. And yeah, whoever is starting, just consistently put valuable content, and people are gonna, like you. That's
Okay.
important.
I think
The only golden period I would say was when TikTok just rolled in and people were getting these million followers, thousands and thousands of followers, just by putting the most basic thing. Now
I
the
know, I
competition
was-
is like-
I would call it cringe.
yeah.
Like
But people started with that, and now they're having such a polished personality. It's okay.
Not
to
everyone,
grow.
not everyone.
Not everyone.
Like,
but I'm talking about.
I think that was more entertainment for people, because again,
Yeah.
that kind of short feed with content, I think it changed the whole way that people started even watching movies, because the attention span reduced because they wanted entertainment in shorter spans,
duration.
maybe, right?
Yeah.
So
It's very flexible.
it's disruptive.
I can be at work having lunch. I'm having spare 15 minutes. I don't know what to do. I can just scroll easily. It's just very convenient.
And that's also dangerous, because you
very
end up
dangerous.
being in an infinite scroll. I think that's a good conclusion to this amazing talk with you guys. I had a wonderful time understanding this whole domain, and maybe I will also try to improve upon what I'm already doing on the content creation side. I'm more a creator on the content on tech, but I think I learned a lot from you guys in terms of how to create value further. I think it will also improve, and also maybe it has helped all the audiences who's watching right now this one. Thanks a lot. I think we will have more interactions in the future.
definitely. Thanks for having us.